Could we already be seeing the end of Solana's bull run? Well, the SEC was at it again, and it continued its crusade against crypto. About a week ago, the Securities and Exchange Commission had a talk with various ETF issuers, and during these talks, the SEC expressed concerns that Solana may actually be a security. And then as a result of that, the CBOE, the Chicago Board Options Exchange, removed their related 19B4 filings. Either that or the SEC may have rejected the filings. We're not 100% certain. There's no clarity on what really happened. But the filings aren't there anymore. That much we do know. And so we can't see what happened. And the thing is, once somebody files these forms, the approval clock starts ticking. Exchanges like the CBOE file these forms on behalf of issuers. So that begs the question, where exactly is Solana right now? Is this going to represent a significant obstacle in its rally? Well, Solana is certainly not the first project that's been targeted by the SEC. Ripple, ticker XRP, won their lawsuit, as you probably remember, against the SEC, thus proving that their XRP token is not a security. However, the SEC has already called Solana a security a couple of times, so this should probably not come as a complete surprise. Still though, after the recent discussion, the 19B4 forms are nowhere in sight anymore on the CBOE. The potential issuers, VanEck and S21 shares, are still on Edgar. That's the SEC's filing system. Matthew Seigel even went a step further. He's VanEck's head of research. Seigel mentioned that their application remains in play. And he also went the extra mile to point out that VanEck believes that Sol, S-O-L, is a commodity, just like BTC and just like ETH. And Seigel is supporting this by saying that courts and regulators are changing their stance. They're starting to recognize a brand new angle. That is the fact that certain crypto assets may function as securities in a primary market. However, they behave more like commodities in secondary markets. And Seigel continues by pointing out that Solana has made considerable progress in decentralization. For example, the top 100 holders now control approximately 27% of the supply. That is a significant reduction from a year ago. We also see that the top 10 addresses now hold less than 9%. And Solana's Nakamoto coefficient is 18. This is a metric that measures decentralization. And for Solana, this represents a pretty good number. There's also the upcoming Firedancer client that's going to further strengthen decentralization. This prevents any single entity from dominating the chain. So these are some strong cases and some strong points, arguments to be made in terms of bringing in against the SEC's claims and their case. So what does it all mean for Solana? Is that strong rally that we've been seeing really at an end? Well, honestly, that would surprise me. In an earlier video about Solana spot ETFs, I already mentioned that I don't see a spot ETF happening anytime soon. My main reasoning for that is just the fact that Solana doesn't have a US futures contract. That is an important tool for hedging capital and represents a precedent now that seems to fit a pattern whereby other assets have had this and then they've been granted subsequently ETF approvals. So at least from my point of view, I don't see this stopping the Solana rally. Maybe Solana won't rally as hard, but I don't think anything's going to stop the momentum that we've been seeing. And as we also know, Solana has other variables that are making it pump. For example, we have the meme coin scene. Not that we're big fans of meme coins here at Altcoin Buzz, but we have to admit that Solana's market cap is $74 billion, and Solana's meme coins have a total market cap of $6.3 billion. So whether you like these kinds of projects or not, this is a very active and dynamic space. Now, up until the time of this recording, Solana was on a pretty good stretch if you look at the last week. It's unfortunate, but we're down now 7.8% on the day. However, we're still positive if we look back on the last 7 days. And a lot of Sol ecosystem projects are up even more over the course of the last week. We have Jupiter that's up by just about 17.5%. Pith Network is up over 11%. IO.net is up by 35%. Camino Finance, they're up over 25%. Zeus Network is up nearly 40%. And Bonk is up nearly 20%. So on the whole, Solana does represent a very healthy ecosystem. And therefore, removing the Solana spot ETF filing looks like probably nothing more than a temporary hiccup. And again, as VanEck's head of research has already mentioned, they haven't necessarily given up on that spot ETF either. Altcoin Buzz is now available in Discord. You can be a part of us now by joining the chat where you can research and identify your next big move in crypto. You're also going to get free alpha content just for joining. Check out the link you can find in the description of this video below. There's also quite a bit more happening at Solana than just the ETFs right now. Its ecosystem is in good shape, that's true, but let's consider the perspective out of Brazil for a moment. The Brazilian equivalent of the SEC, the CVM, has approved a second Solana ETF. The Brazilian arm of Hashdex has the honor, actually, and this has boosted Solana adoption in Latin America. Now, Jito is a staking protocol, and for the first time ever, it reached a TVL of over 12 million Sol. That is no less than 721% up since the same time last year. Jito also has the first Solana-based LRT, or liquid restaking token. That is EZ-Sol, introduced by Renzo and Jito. Renzo is a popular Ethereum restaking platform. It has a TVL of $1.2 billion. Another thing to consider is that there may be a new NFT season on the horizon. If that is the case, then Solana may also be leading the charge. And that's a statement that I can back up. If we look back just a little while ago to the 23rd of August, Solana NFTs were up 42% in daily sales. That's worth over $3 million. Currently, the Solana Monkey Business Collection has the most sales. More and more evidence, therefore, that the Solana ecosystem is thriving. And it's doing so in a variety of ways. It's not just a one-trick pony either. So there's a certain diversification in terms of what it's doing right, and that's good to see. Therefore, at least from my perspective, it would seem that Solana, the spot ETF situation right now, for the most part, is, yes, a bit of a stumble, a bit of a hiccup, but not much more than that. That's my perspective. I think there's quite a bit more to be optimistic about here. So let's not get bogged down and tripped up over, some myopic negative news. Yeah, okay, it's not positive news, but it's certainly not a deal breaker either. And there's so much more good stuff that's going on with Solana. Let me know what you think about this situation, your thoughts on the issue, and let me know whether you think Solana is going to perform well during the next leg of this bull run. That is my opinion. Let me know your thoughts about that in the comments below.